to Bomb Shelter Bibles. I'm starting here with an outdoor shot in the area just south of Tel Aviv, in the city of Bat Yam, which means daughter of the sea. And I'm obviously here at the beach. Got one of my favorite bicycles here with me. And I just want to give you a show here of Israeli life in the midst of wartime. We didn't have any need to run to the bomb shelters yesterday or the day before. Yesterday was Shavuot, the feast of Pentecost, which is 50 days after the day of Pesach, which is also known as Passover. Passover is the 15th day of the first month, and then starting with the 16th day, that's the first day of the counting of the Omer. And so the counting of the Omer landed on day 50, which was yesterday, Shavuot, Pentecost, which is in tradition thought to be the time of the giving of the Torah in Mount Sinai. Well, that's just tradition. It's not written in the Bible that way, but it's an assumption that tradition made. But then we also see in the book of Acts, chapter 2, that it was that day in the first century. So that would be 50 days after the death of Yeshua the Messiah, that the outpouring of the Ruach HaKodesh began, and the set-apart spirit of Elohim was poured out, and the people had flames of fire over their heads, and they began to speak with new tongues. So that was yesterday. We had good Bible studies then, and also on Shabbat. And good. We have a military helicopter right here. All right, military helicopter flying right over this area of the beach, and this is a construction zone here, right near the beach. Some kind of new buildings going up, new-ish buildings over there, and then we've got the beach here. So as I was saying, we had incoming missiles, and I was walking here in this area on Shabbat a little bit after our Bible studies, and I was on the road over in that direction over there, and missiles from Gaza down here towards the south started flying in, and I counted 23 of them exploded in the sky here right above my head. 23 of them were detonated by the Iron Dome missile system, defensive missile system. So that missile system sends up missiles to basically attack the offensive missiles coming in from Gaza, and that's what happened. And I saw 23. I don't think the missiles in that barrage, all of them were detonated, because there was at least one that did crash into the ground further to the north, along the north side of Tel Aviv, up there in the city of Ramat Gan, and sadly one man died there. I showed in another video the photo of the damage there. It basically blew out all the windows in the apartments nearby, so that can be dangerous for flying glass. The man that died, I think that maybe he was out on the street where the missile landed. A bunch of cars were destroyed, as well as the front side of apartment buildings. Sounds like another helicopter is on the way here, but I just want to give you a shot. In spite of all this, running for the bomb shelters, Israelis are very, very strong and determined to live life normally. Okay, yes, we have another military helicopter flying right over here, and that's just 2 minutes or so after the previous one. Meanwhile, down here we've got a lot of surfers in the water over here. A lot of surfers. A few people on the beach. A few people doing sports, walking along the beach. Now, if a missile alert were to happen right now, this girl and everybody on the beach would probably run for this wall right here, and they would have to pick which side of the wall they want to get on, because they're only going to get protection from one side. That's the closest thing that they could do. There's not going to be any protection over here in the lifeguard shack. That's just made of wood. These umbrellas made of grass, that's not protection. It's going to be kind of hard for these guys in the water to get over to the wall or get to the shore quick enough, but I mean, from what I've noticed, you only have about 30 seconds when the alarm sounds here to get to cover. So the closest thing, some of these people in the chairs here would probably make a run for this wall, and they would crouch down, get as close to the ground as possible, and I'll insert a photo from another part of the beach in Tel Aviv, and that's exactly what people did. They left all their towels and their blankets in their chairs, and they ran to the wall and crouched down against the wall. If they crouched down on the beach water side of the wall, then they would be protected from any rockets that would land here on this side of the wall. But if they crouched down on the sidewalk side of the wall, then they would be protected from missiles that land on the beach side. So it's a limited protection, but here we see that a lot of people are out here anyway, enjoying some sun and some surf in spite of these dangers. After all, I'm right here walking and talking and showing you the pictures, and what we see here is that I've got faith in Elohim to protect us. A lot of the people here have got faith in Elohim. Here's a dad or a granddad biking by with his child or grandchild. And I would say that a lot of the people here in Israel, even if they're secular, a lot of them do put their trust in the Israeli military. Some of them also put their trust in Elohim, and that's what I'm doing, is encouraging people to put their trust in Elohim. The military helps for sure, but without Elohim, I don't think the military would be able to achieve all that much. There have been partnerships of military strategy and technology development where Israel partners with the United States to share the technology, the research and development that's done here in Israel, and that's funded with money from different nations, but especially from the USA. But then that technology is shared with the USA, so the USA can have its own Iron Dome system to fight against missiles in midair. So that gets shared. But the technology and all of that is not, it cannot really explain the ultimate protection that is really available. All right, the lifeguard shack is communicating with some of these swimmers and surfers out here, basically telling them not to go out too far. Decent surf today. Looks pretty good. So that was the view of the beach and the surf and a little bit of information here. So I just wanted to thank you for tuning in to Bomb Shelter Bibles here, live from the greater Tel Aviv area, Bat Yam. Enjoy the beach here a little bit. Take a look at what some of the Israelis are brave enough to do out here on the beach and surfing and so forth. I'm gonna hop on the bicycle. It's getting a little too hot, and I'm gonna head back to the apartment. I'm thankful to be able to keep watch over that apartment for some friends here in the greater Tel Aviv area, to be in the hot zone and to trust Elohim and experience life here. Trusting Elohim for protection from the missiles incoming from Gaza, as well as appreciating the bomb shelters that are here and the military that is watching here. It's amazing. I was able to see some of the videos and articles recently too about how the soldiers that are watching and controlling the Iron Dome system, how they're watching very, very carefully day and night, every day, every hour, to control the Iron Dome system and to make sure that it is doing its very best to knock those missiles right out of the sky. There are continued riots in the area as well, and car ramming attacks and stabbing attempts and shootings, and that's both here in the greater Tel Aviv area, in different parts of Israel, also in the Galilee up north, and also in Samaria where I normally live. Even areas, there that are outside of the hot zone in terms of missiles, but they continue to have these other kind of problems with the car rammings and those various kind of attacks. It's very hot in the season right now in terms of the politics and the war zone. So I thank you for tuning in and checking out, and of course checking out what's going on here. So I thank you very much for that. I thank you for your concern. Ask that you would continue to pray for the peace of Israel, for the peace of Jerusalem, according to Psalm 122, verse 6. And that word pray there in the Hebrew actually also means ask and inquire, not only to pray, but to ask. And so by watching videos like this, you are inquiring and asking what is going on with the peace and the shalom in Jerusalem and in Israel. So it's good that you're asking, and it's good that you're praying as well and asking Elohim to help and to provide, because it's not only the military technology and all that sort of thing that protects Israel, but it's Elohim himself. Clearly, that is providing the protection. Otherwise, these enemies all around would have a lot more success than they do. So thanks for watching and tuning in to Bomb Shelter Bibles, and hit the notification button and the little flag, the little notifications part of that, so that you can get more updates and check us out further. All right, see you next time, and thanks for tuning in. Bye for now.
People get ready. Están listos. People get ready. People get